Hello and welcome. Let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're talking about something every single educator does dozens, if not hundreds of times a day, asking questions. But here's the thing. We're going to look at how to take that classroom interaction off autopilot. We want to turn it into an intentional, highly strategic tool. We're talking about mastering effective questioning techniques. To kick us off, I want you to pull a memory from your own mental question jar. Think about the absolute last question you asked a student recently. Got it? Okay. Now ask yourself, why did you ask it? Was it a closed question? Was it open? Was it just a quick check? And maybe the most important part, what kind of response did you actually get? Keep that mental sticky note handy as we go through this, because we're going to uncover the hidden patterns in the questions we ask. Because, you see, the bottom line is this. Effective questioning are a key aspect of successful teaching, period. Questioning isn't just some handy trick to fill the awkward silence or rush a lesson along. It is literally the foundation of learning, engagement, and language production. So here is our roadmap for unpacking this toolkit today. We're covering 5 parts: the power of asking, closed and open questions, the check-in questions, higher-order thinking, and finally, some winning classroom strategies you can use in your very next class. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the power of asking. We need to understand exactly why being intentional with our questions is an absolute game changer. Honestly, questions do the heavy lifting in a successful classroom. Think of them like a map, guiding your learners through every single stage of a lesson. They let students actively demonstrate that they actually understand the task, instead of just passively sitting there listening to you talk. Plus, a truly great question stimulates critical analysis. It pulls active participation from everybody in the room, not just those 2 or 3 loud voices we all have in class. And ultimately, every single question you throw out there should align directly with your overarching lesson aims. Moving along to section 2, let's talk about closed and open questions. These are basically your foundational tools for establishing accuracy and then building up to fluency. This slide perfectly illustrates the difference between the two. Closed questions are those short, specific, yes or no type deals. Think, is a carrot a vegetable? Or where did the man go? These are fantastic for a quick accuracy check and confirming knowledge. And since they reduce cognitive load, they're super helpful for beginners or during controlled practice. But, a quick warning, if you overuse them, you're going to severely limit speaking time. On the flip side, open questions prompt those longer, meatier responses where there isn't just one right answer. Things like, what did you do this weekend? These boost language production and build real confidence, making them perfect for freer practice. And hey, if your students ever get stuck, you can always just toss them a sentence starter to get the ball rolling. Next up is section 3, the check-in questions, specifically CCQs and ICQs. If you want to absolutely bulletproof your lesson against total classroom confusion, these are your best friends. First, the CCQ, or concept checking question. Look, instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping they grasped that complex grammar point, a CCQ forces the student to prove they get the meaning, use, or form. So say your target language is, she has been living in France for 5 years. A brilliant CCQ would be just asking the room, does she still live in France? If they yell out yes, boom, you know they've grasped the present perfect continuous. It's precise, and it verifies understanding instantly. Then we have the ICQ, the instruction checking question. What's so awesome about the ICQ is that it's preventative. It stops the chaos before it even starts by making sure everyone knows the drill. If you tell your students, read the first paragraph, hit them right away with an ICQ. Do you need to read the whole text? When they echo back no, you've clarified the instructions and literally just saved yourself 5 minutes of running from desk to desk explaining it again. All right, section 4, higher order thinking, or as I like to call it, the question upgrade challenge. This is where we push past basic comprehension and aim for those deep analytical responses. Check out this upgrade right here. Asking, what did you eat for breakfast, is technically an open question, sure, but it's lower level thinking. It's just basic memory recall. Now watch what happens when we just add the word why. Why is a healthy breakfast important? Suddenly you've transformed a basic recall task into a higher order critical thinking exercise. These types of questions pull out opinions, reasoning, and real analysis. When you ask something like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of social media? You are forcing your students to actually apply the target language in a meaningful conversational way. Finally, section 5, winning classroom strategies. Because at the end of the day, execution is absolutely everything. We've got the toolkit now, but just knowing the question types isn't going to cut it. Let's look at how to make them actually land. These 6 strategies right here, this is the secret sauce. Number 1, plan your purposeful questions in advance, but, stay a little flexible in the moment. Number 2, get everyone involved by nominating specific students and using pair work before whole class feedback. That way, the confident kids don't completely take over the room. Number 3 is wait time, which we're going to unpack in just a second. Number 4, when they answer, respond with genuine interest. Ask why or can you explain more? Number 5, flip the script. Encourage the students to ask the questions to foster their independence. And number 6, please, avoid rapid-fire multiple questions and completely banish the phrase, "Do you understand?" Let's actually zoom in on strategy number 3 for a second. Wait time. You have to give learners time to think after you ask a complex question. Because, well, if you just let that silence hang for 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds, that productive silence leads directly to longer, vastly more confident answers. The silence means their brains are actually working. Try giving 5 seconds of wait time tomorrow and just watch how their responses change. And we definitely have to talk about strategy number 6. This is hands down the ultimate bad habit in the teaching world. Asking, "Do you understand?" is not a checking question. It is way, way too easy to fake. Students will literally just nod their heads yes just to avoid looking silly. If you really want to know if they get the grammar or the instructions, you have to use a CCQ or an ICQ instead. So how do we make all this happen? Take this little reflection task into your next lesson prep. Be intentional about it. Actually map out your questions to support your main goals. Pick the specific question types for each stage of the lesson. Physically write down 2 or 3 exact questions for every activity. And meticulously plan exactly when you're going to use that productive wait time, especially for the tough, higher order questions. Because every single question you ask in your classroom has an impact. So I'll leave you with this challenge. Tomorrow, turn off the autopilot. Will your next classroom question be an intentional, thought-provoking upgrade that truly inspires engagement? Or are you going to settle for the easily faked, "Do you understand?" The choice and the learning that comes from it is entirely in your hands. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Now get out there and go ask better questions.